Hi, greetings everyone, Arya here, and it's time to take a look at the final installment of the Maze Runner series and final chapter of Young Adult April 2024, which is Maze Runner, The Death Cure. Thomas, Newt, and Frypan, the last of the Free Gladers, joined with the Right Arm Resistance to retrieve other mutants from a carriage of a train operated by Wicked, the organization responsible for capturing and experimenting on immune children. They discovered that Minho, their Glader friend whom Wicked had captured, was on a different carriage and is headed to the last city, Wicked's base of operations. Against the orders of Vince, the leader of the Right Arm, the three head to the last city to rescue Minho, who was being tortured by Wicked along with several other children in the hope of developing a cure for the virus. The group was attacked by cranks, humans affected with the flare. However, they are saved by Jorge and Brenda, who joined them. The group makes it to the wall of the last city, which is heavily fortified. Outside the wall, people are rallying in protest to be led to the city. When Wicked opens fire at the protesters, the group is captured and taken to a hideout by a crew wearing gas masks. One of the members, revealed to be Gally, who survived being impaled with a spear by Minho. Gally takes in to meet Lawrence, a rebellion leader, who helps Thomas, Newt, and Gally enter the last city. Gally takes Thomas and Newt on a tour of the city and, after spotting Teresa, tells Thomas that he can get them into Wicked headquarters. Newt then reveals to Thomas that he is infected. Promising to cure him, Thomas and Gally capture Teresa. Disguised as Wicked soldiers, Thomas, Newt, and Gally escort Teresa inside Wicked headquarters and toward the location of the immunes. Gally looks after the immune children and stays to find a serum that slows the flare. Thomas, Teresa, and Newt go to find Minho, but are discovered and chased by Jansen. Teresa lets them escape to find Minho before going to do a blood test on Thomas's blood, obtained when she was removing trackers from the Gladers. After delivering the immune children and the serum to Brenda, Gally returns to Wicked headquarters to find Thomas. Brenda is forced to flee with the immune children to avoid capture. Thomas and Newt reunite with Minho and escape from the Wicked building. Teresa discovers that Thomas's blood can cure the flare. She shares her discovery with Wicked's leader, Ava Page, both of whom agree that they must find Thomas. Brenda and the immune children escape Wicked with Frypan's help. Meanwhile, Lawrence rallies his rebels outside the city before blowing a hole in the city wall and sacrificing himself to allow his allies and the affected people to storm the city. Gally saves Thomas, Newt, and Minho from Wicked soldiers. When Minho and Gally go get the serum from Brenda, Thomas gets a pendant from Newt before Newt passes out. Teresa transmits her voice throughout the city and tells Thomas that his blood can save Newt if he will return to Wicked. Newt, nearly consumed by the flare, regains consciousness and attacks and begs Thomas to kill him. When Thomas refuses, Newt fatally stabs himself with his own knife. Thomas returns to the Wicked facility and confronts Paige. While she talks with him, Jansen, having caught the flare, kills her and uses a sedative on Thomas. Thomas wakes up inside the facility. Teresa successfully removes some of his blood. She hears that Jansen is interested only in curing himself and others whom he deems worthy. Teresa attacks Jansen to freeze Thomas, who fights with Jansen. Thomas releases two cranks on Jansen, killing him. With the building on fire, Thomas and Teresa escape to the roof. The rest of the team arrives at a berg. Teresa helps Thomas on board, but the building caves in, causing Teresa to fall to her death. The group escapes with the rest of the immunes to a safe haven, where the remaining population can live in safety and rebuild civilization. Thomas discovers that the pendant that Newt gave him had a note in it. He reads a note in which Newt tells him to look after everyone before he thanks Thomas for being his friend. Aww. So let's take a look at the production of this film, beginning with the development. In March 2015, it was confirmed that T.S. Nowlin, who co-wrote the first and wrote the second film, would adapt Maze Runner: The Death Cure. On September 16, 2015, it was announced that Ball will return to direct the final film. Now to the filming. Principal photography began on March 4, 2016 in Vancouver, British Columbia. Previously, it was revealed at San Diego Comic-Con International that filming will begin in February 2016. On March 18, 2016, it was reported that actor Dylan O'Brien had been hospitalized for injuries sustained on set during filming. James Nasher announced via Twitter that the production had been postponed after the accident. Producers were reported to be looking to resume filming around mid-May. According to the Directors Guild of Canada's production list, the film was scheduled to resume filming on May 9th and complete principal photography on July 26th. However, on April 29, 2016, production was shut down indefinitely as O'Brien's injuries were revealed to be more serious than previously thought. Film resumed on March 6, 2017 in Cape Town, South Africa. In May 2017, it was announced that Walton Goggins would play the part of Lawrence, described as, quote, an unusual and dangerous character who's part revolutionary, part anarchist, and a voice for the voiceless people, end quote. Principal photography wrapped on June 3rd, 2017. And now finally on to the visual effects. The visual effects were provided by Weta Digital and supervised by Chris White. So overall, it's the final film in the Maze Runner series. It's actually pretty good, and I highly recommend watching it, well, after you watch the first two, of course, so yeah, but anyway. So overall, I give Maze Runner: The Death Cure 5 Grievers out of 5. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me on Young Adult April 2024. I know it was a little bit shorter than what you might expect, but whatever, so yeah. Anyway, so tune in next month for Marvel May 2024, as we're only going to be looking at 3 films. Those films are Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and The Marvels. So, yeah. And of course, this is the final installment of Young Adult April 2024. So, next year, we're going to be looking at all the different Super Sentai seasons that got adapted into Power Rangers. So, be on the lookout for that. So, yeah. Anyway, so, until next year, remember everyone, wicked is good.